Hi, everybody. I'm Alyce-Kay Ruckelhaus from Threshold of Hineni and the Widow Ruckelhaus. And we've been talking through the Apostles' Creed. I hope that if you're just picking this up as the first video that you've seen in this series, that you'll go back to the beginning, which I will put a link for in the description box below. It's really important because each part builds on the parts before it. Okay, so we're just talking through phrase by phrase through the Apostles' Creed. I actually thought that we would probably talk through a whole sentence at a time, but yeah, there's too much meat in there, and I really want to keep this short so that you can watch this over your coffee and then have a little bit of time to journal about it or talk with a friend or talk with your family about it so that it really becomes something that becomes part of your heart. So far we've talked about our belief, what to do if we have unbelief, and how God is our Father. And in each of these videos, I want to be sure that we're not just getting intellectual information, but that this is becoming part of our heart and our beliefs and how it affects our relationship with God, our relationship with ourselves, and our relationship with others. All right, so and with each of these, it's going to be a little bit different for each of us. So I'd love it if you would share what you've been learning, how you've decided to apply this in the comments below so that we can learn from each other and so that we can encourage one another and maybe even have a little bit of discussion. Also be sure to like the video. That lets, click the thumbs up button. That lets YouTube know that they should show this to more people so it can help more people. If you comment, that also helps. If you share it with a friend, then that really helps also, especially if it's somebody that you want to talk about this with. And then also, if you would like to see the next video when it comes out and have YouTube let you know about it, click subscribe and a little bell will come up and you can pop on that. All right, so the next word, we're only going to talk about one word today, and it may actually take 2 videos because I want to keep this short. The word that we want to talk about today is Almighty. We believe in God, the Father Almighty. All right, so what is Almighty? What kind of picture does that conjure up to you? Somebody really big and scary, maybe? Because Almighty sounds like maybe God's holding some thunder rods ready to take you out or something. Or maybe just the fact that he is the creator of the universe and that he holds it all together for us. There are a lot of aspects of God's might. And like I said, it may take a couple videos to talk about this. We'll see. But let's talk first of all about how God is almighty. Just a couple ways. There are so many ways to talk about this, but just two things that I'd like to talk about. First of all, let's talk about the fact that God's the creator. Okay, that in itself makes him almighty. He existed before anything existed. It was just him. And you know what? He didn't take a lot of time drawing up plans and everything like that. The Bible says that he just spoke things into being. He said, let there be light. Bam. And there was light. He said, let there be a division between the waters, and there was. Let there be a sun, moon, and stars, and there were. And then, and here's what's cool and how his almightiness relates to us. He didn't just say, let there be people. He took some dirt from the earth that he had created and he fashioned man. And then he took a rib out of man and fashioned woman. And there's so much more to say about that. But just that little bit, what does that tell you about God the Almighty, about his power? How does that affect you? Okay, so that's from Genesis 1, and I'll put the references below. But I also want to talk about a psalm. I'm not going to read this whole psalm, but I want to read part of it to you. It's Psalm 139. This is one of my favorites. It says, you have searched me, Lord, and you know me. You know when I sit and when I rise. You perceive my thoughts from afar. You discern my going out and my lying down. You're familiar with all my ways. Before a word is on my tongue, you, Lord, know it completely. You hem me in behind and before. You lay your hand on me. Such knowledge is too wonderful for me, too lofty to attain. And it goes on to talk about how we can't go anywhere that God isn't there with us, and about how he fashioned us in our mother's womb, and how we can ask him to inspect our thoughts and our hearts and help us to see the things that don't agree with him, help us to align ourselves with him. So those are two areas. I'm going to stop now, and because I have more that I want to say about this, and it'll take us into a longer period of time. So here's what I want you to do today is I want you to think of those two areas. Read Genesis 1. You can read Genesis 2 also if you want for more of the story, and read Psalm 139 and write about how those two things, maybe how they contrast. So how are they different from each other, and show you different aspects of God? And then how do they compare? How are they the same? Because we're talking about one God. We're just talking about one person here. How does that, how do those things compare and contrast? And how does that affect you? How does it affect how you see yourself? How does it affect how you see God? And then again, knowing that these things, especially Psalm 139, were written about other people, and let's think particularly about people that you're not getting along with or that you don't like, knowing that these same things were written about them, how does that change your attitude and your actions towards others? All right, so I think that's a lot to leave you with. It's probably good that I'm not putting these videos out every day, right? So go ahead and write about those things and share any comments below. Maybe something that you're struggling with. Look and see what other people have said about their ideas. Hopefully that will help you as well. I think that if you are willing to be open and share with each other, with me, because I know I'll learn from your comments too. If we share with each other, then we can grow even stronger in the Lord, and we can appreciate who he is as our Father and the Almighty. Okay, we're going to talk about this a little bit more in the next video. So be sure to do that assignment, please, and pray about it too. Pray this back to God and tell him how wonderful you think he is, and how this has affected you. All right, I love you all. I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.